Now, we're going to be interviewing today one of my really great friends. He is a phenomenal football historian. He knows so much about the game. He's a great businessman, great leader, has a phenomenal podcast. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and bring him up to the stage. Here he is, my good friend. His name is Coach Ken Crippen. How you doing today, Ken?
Doing well, Marcus. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. First question, okay, Ken? What does the word doing business or the phrase doing business the right way mean to Ken Crippen?
I would say doing business with integrity. I mean, people, they're only as good as their word. So if you break your word, you break trust, then, what good are you going to be as a business person? So integrity to me is the biggest thing that you need to have as a business person.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Ken is a friend of mine. This is why we call him Coach Ken. This is why he is a sponsor of our brand. I coach him. He does phenomenal. He has a great, great brand called the Football Learning Academy. And Coach Ken, let's get into it. Why did you launch Football Learning Academy? And what is the mission of your phenomenal organization?
There's two reasons why I formed it. One was I wanted to make sure that people are able to learn about the history of the game, that they're able to put it into context with today's game. But also I wanted to make sure that I had a platform to be able to give back to retired players. I've been doing this for a long time as far as being a historian. The FLA is only a couple years old, but I've spent a lot of time interviewing, working with retired players, doing a lot of things with retired players. And with all those interviews and getting to know these players, you hear about all of the issues that they're facing from, a medical standpoint, not being able to pay their medical bills, things like that. So I want to do everything I can to be able to give back to the players that have been so good to me over the years. So that's why I wanted to be able to have some sort of platform to be able to raise money to help those retired players who need it the most, while at the same time doing something else that I truly love, which is talking about the history of the game.
Coach Ken, this is why we're good friends. This is why I'm such a huge advocate, a huge supporter of FLA. We're going to be getting in front of people to share this, like we talk about with different radio shows, podcasts, outreach. I feel the more people know about you and what you're doing, it's only going to really get more people excited about what you're doing and wanting to support and get behind the FLA. So Coach, let's talk about that for a moment. So at FLA, you all are a brand that teaches about the history of the game. You're supporting former players, retired players, players that are in need. It reminds me of some people from like the Gridiron Greats, right? Or the Gene Upshaw Trust Fund. Talk about some of the different programs that you all have and what people can come to your site and gain when it comes to the Football Learning Academy.
There's multiple things, really. We've got classes that we teach on the history of the game. We have interviews with a wide range of people. I try to interview as many different people as I can because everybody has a story. There's always something there that people can tell. And I want to make sure those stories get out there. You've got trailblazers, people that are the first to ever do something in the history of the game. I want to make sure people know about those stories and the struggles that they went through in order to be able to accomplish everything that they've accomplished. On top of that, we'll have live sessions. We'll bring in some retired players to do Q&As with the fans so that people are able to interact with these players. We've got a podcast. I've tried to bring in, again, a lot more retired players, talk about their stories, talk about any businesses that they're running, talk about any charities that are important to them. That's something that we also like to focus on is, if there's a charity out there or a foundation that a player has, we want to get the word out there so that people can support that particular foundation or charity. We also have a blog out there, again, talking about different aspects of the history of the game. So there's a lot of stuff that you can find at the FLA, and there should be something there for everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I took note of the different types of avenues, the different types of verticals that you can gain access of information. You can connect with players. You can be involved in understanding the history of the game. The podcast is sensational. We'll get to that in a moment. And I'm really excited about what Coach Ken is doing, because it's something that really needs to be done at a real high and also ground level, because it's really about not just wanting to help individuals. It's about doing things that you know you need to do to be able to help the individuals.